Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here, joining me today. I hope your day or night is amazeballs so far. Let's get you a little clarity. Remember, the answer is always in you, and trust that direct divine connection you have to your higher self, God, source, the universe, and try to make balanced decisions that help uplift us all, that we help uplift each other in love. Let's dive right on in using the mystery deck and see what some foundational focal points are. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our, what was that? Higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. What's flying out of the deck? Wait. Somebody is thinking about a future with you, not just a future until death do us part, but forevs with you. Maybe this starts with a fun day. If you haven't had a fun day in a while, maybe you need to schedule in a fun day. Maybe you're going to have a really fun day with a specific person here, or just something on your own, maybe a group of friends. Fun day. That sounds like fun. So I'm going to grab another little section of the mystery deck, and let's just get some, key points here. Foundational energy. What else would be helpful? But I really like where this is starting. There's definitely somebody thinking about you right now, and maybe you just start to have more of these fun days. And if you weren't looking, or if you forget that you were looking, somebody might be coming on into your world. If something is out of your control, don't attach to it. Whether that has to do with a situation, an outcome, a certain person, if it's a closed door, if it's not directly something that you can work with, let it go. Because there's definitely something being worked out for a better reason than you see right now. Also, if there's something, even if it's out of love, that you are connecting to something out of really wanting to help, but it feels like those reins are a little bit too tight, it's going to be when you actually retract, release your energy, that something has the space to work itself out, or somebody has the space to figure something out. And that could also be you. So are there any other messages from, I'm definitely getting antsy energy, a little anxiety, where maybe you're nervous, maybe you're worried. All of that is lower vibration, even if it's like fear-based. You have to really just step into your own personal power here. So what else? Friends and lovers. You definitely have something that wants to come in, or somebody that wants to come in. Maybe there's a certain friend you always have a good time with. Maybe that person ends up to be your lover. If this starts out with a lot of chemistry, maybe there is a pace that needs to unfold naturally, where you discover more about one another, and you find out, hey, you just met not only somebody super attractive, but this person could be your forever bestie here. So this also feels very well-rounded, secure, stable. I actually just heard energizing as well. Pay attention to your energy. So if you're around someone and you feel drained, if you feel confused, if you feel overwhelmed, any of those vibrations, trust how you feel. Take your own energy back. See how you can align your own energy. I'm getting a reboot. And then I feel like there is going to be somebody that doesn't drain you here. This person, it's like you plug each other in. So pay attention to that person or these people, and choose to spend more time with the ones that uplift you, that want to see you succeed, that want to see you in love, that want to see you grow, not get stuck in the matrix or on the carousel or going in karmic loop-de-loops. So let's use those as the foundation. Can you see them? And why don't we just get a little clarity on what's here? Let's let's go right to the tarot. This is that beautiful Italian deck that my friend got me for, like, just, I don't think it was even for anything. Just, they went on, it was actually 2 of my friends. And they found this in a tiny little Italian bookstore when they were on vacation. These 2 people, I actually call them like, they're like my little angels in my life. They're 2 people that I know that are completely supportive, uplifting. Definitely those kind of people you want to spend your time around. So, gratitude. I just heard gratitude. Thank you. So let's see what pops out. What pops out that is the main, let's see what your overall energy or what your awareness needs to be of right now. What should you be aware of currently, today? Prominent focus, it's expansion, it's growth. It's that little fire in your belly that wants you, I just keep hearing like, buy the ticket. Maybe you have to buy a ticket. I mean, sometimes I see this as you're definitely out of the kingdom. You're off of the throne. You're not looking at the wall anymore and the horizon that's out there. You're actually on the journey here. You're on the plane. You're making it to the airport. It's like a tweener time. So you might be in between one horizon and another, one relationship and another, one project and something else. Maybe it's actually, I'm getting an actual adventure or you taking a physical journey as well, even though this is in Pentacles. It's getting to that new destination, but sometimes you get rerouted. Sometimes there's a layover. So even if you end up on the shore you existed, you were sure what it was going to be, you always have to have that curiosity in your spirit that, you know, it might not unfold in a certain manner, like the itinerary said. Sometimes you get a detour that takes you to something better. You know, like it's like sometimes you have that day planned. Let's just go with like an amusement park or a big party or something like that. And you have all of these intentions on how amazing it's gonna be, but then you look back at that day and the best time you had was like getting ready with your honey or your bestie or by yourself, dancing to music, getting in the car, getting lost, ending up somewhere weird, making it to the party afterwards. So sometimes it's not about that party, it's allowing yourself that freedom to get a little lost is sort of what I see. Or that sometimes the pregame or the after party is even better than the initial destination. So let's see, why is the 3 of Rods here? Because now always think of the card before and after what comes in the tarot. So before that, the 2, it's sometimes making a decision or somebody that's just as dominant or strong as you, even if it's in a different form. But you made the plans, you booked the ticket. Now afterwards, sometimes that's seen as that good time. That's the wedding. That's the snapshot of the most amazing experience where it just fired up your soul. So that's where you're heading. Before I pull this card, I have to check on my dog. I'll be right back. All right, so that's your main focus or your energy currently. Know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Don't get ahead of yourself. And I don't know if I really even addressed this extra little message, is to just send love. Not worry, just send some love. Sometimes that's all you can do. So let's ask a little more about the fun day. Tell us about this fun day energy that's going on. Well, yeah, the 8 of Swords. So maybe you need to get out of a certain mindset. This is sometimes where you feel like you're trapped in a cage. You don't have enough room in your schedule. You don't know enough people you have a good time with. It's all that getting trapped in your own mental prison, which isn't the truth. It's not the truth. The truth is there's always a way out. Sometimes it's just not the way you thought. You have to look at something a different angle. And if swords represent thoughts or communication or words or intelligence, ideas. It's mental activity. It looks like whatever mental activity is going here, it's creating some kind of weird fence. But it also looks like an eye, or possibly a Vesica Pisces, which is an energy that represents the birth canal. Doing something new, throwing in a little monkey wrench and see if that brings you a solution, or a little, I'm getting like a little tweak that brings you more freedom in your energy, maybe because it's mental, you know, ideas here, maybe the more freedom to think outside the box, or to even take yourself away from others' opinions, because that could be outside influences that are trying to create a block on that beautiful, it's almost like a little, I don't know, I see like a daisy. I feel like that's a gem, like I see a brooch. So I feel like you're a gem in a situation, but around this, I don't know why, I just thought of blue lotus, which is very symbolic in especially Egyptian history. The blue lotus sort of relates to lucid dreaming. I'm even getting like a little more relaxation. So let's just clarify, why is the Eight of Swords here? You got you got the Lovers and the Fool. You have a new beginning. It took me a minute. These are in Italian. Bear with me. It's interesting because in this, sometimes the Lovers give a different energy. In this particular Lovers card, the angel is up there. It's like a little Cupid hanging out in the sunshine and definitely pointing an arrow at somebody in the middle of trying to make a decision for somebody. Maybe either you or someone else is trying to decide between one person and another, or comparing somebody from the past to somebody coming in. But it could also be that one is that friends and lovers energy, and the other is just a third party person or situation. A third party doesn't always mean it's a love triangle. Sometimes a third party is somebody's job that's keeping their schedule so I'm getting the hamster wheel that they can't even experience this beautiful love, even though their heart is calling them to make different choices, or choices because a certain person is prominent in their heart. It could be somebody that has more than one person prominent in their heart, but maybe the type of love that they feel for each is different. But somebody has to make a choice, and they're getting help from the divine if they hear that insight. It does look like it's that difference in energy, though. I will say the person in the middle looks a little bit confused. Cupid looks secure, but if you look at the faces on these two people, this person doesn't look really happy, and this person looks more pleasant. So maybe there is a difference in the energy of, I mean, that could be years ago, somebody from your past, or just different people in your life that you're making a choice that involves your truth about, or where you want to spend more of your time with, whom you want to spend it with. And it looks like somebody's going on a journey that's bringing you new experiences here. So when you have the Fool, it's a huge, big new cycle that is usually not going to compare to whatever that last cycle is. It's major arcana. So you've learned something from the last cycle to not repeat it, you know, rinse and repeat the same way again. This is where you hit new territory. This is where you definitely allow yourself to expand and allow yourself to not know what you don't know, you know, and it's unlearning sometimes. It is a reboot here. It's also protective because the Fool is the 0. The Fool is where it could either be like, you know, a microscope to zoom in, a telescope to look at something far away, a magnifying glass, or a portal of protection, or an amplification of your energy. So there's somebody that wants a new beginning, I think, with a new person, or they're looking at if this is just a past reflection of how they were with the same person. It's letting that illusion or that old way of being, that old way of doing something disintegrate, dissolve, so that because you can only really control your own energy, thereby maybe a mirroring energy, somebody grows with you or mirrors you to have expand somehow. So what's at the bottom? Let's see what's at the bottom. Oh, you have the Six of Wands. You're going to be victorious if you decide to take a leap of faith. And if you are waiting for somebody else to take a leap of faith, give them the space they need. The end in old cycle is a pretty big deal. And to, you know, get the big girl, big boy balls on to jump into something that feels unknown, feels not really so familiar, that also takes a lot of courage. You know, the Fool is always that innocence. It's like the baby coming through, starting a new journey. You know, everything looks amazing and yet maybe scary, but there's still, with the Fool, that really direct connection that has not yet been severed between the soul and the divine, the soul and the higher self, the soul and maybe the past. But you don't have a complete outline or agenda or, you know, a play-by-play of what's going to happen in that next chapter. So it's both maybe a little nerve-wracking, but you have to go venture more on the lines of excitement. What do you get to discover? What do you get to discover now about yourself? And if you are heading towards the Six of Wands, that's you discovering something that burns a beautiful spiritual fire in your belly, but takes you towards victory. It's a victory card. It's stepping up to bat. It's standing on the stage. It's you being noticed. But when you're in the high vibration, it's you being noticed for the right reasons. Maybe because you and somebody else out of free will, because that's really important with the Lovers, also a Gemini card, make choices, you know, as you go. Sometimes it's a big choice, but it's also increments, little choices that add up to big results. And sometimes if you look at this like a football game, you know, sometimes you have a weird season or two, or you lost a couple games. It doesn't mean you're not going to necessarily win the Super Bowl. I am not a football person, so I probably got that wrong, but take it as an energy thing. It's, you know, riding home on the victory parade, but recognizing those that supported you along the way. But also it's important to give gratitude to the other team, to the tough coaches. You know, the times when you fell down but got back up, because that's where this energy circulates and brings you more victories, or what feel like victories. Sometimes the victory is just giving something a try, giving somebody a chance. It's also finding the key, and yet I feel like that key is inside of you, or it was inside of you the whole time. See what else I get on this. I don't know why I see filigree. Maybe some of you do something with filigree is like that beautiful jewelry that kind of looks like this. It's very delicate. I also feel like there's somebody you're connecting to that's equally as strong as you, equally yoked, equally passionate, because you got a lot of fire here. Even look at this card, the way that came out. It's like fire and water together. So maybe fire sign, air sign. The only thing that kind of feels like it's missing a little bit is earth here. So maybe that's what you have to focus on. How do you ground all of this fiery passion? These these inspirations that come through, this magnetism that you feel. How do you ground that into everyday experiences you get to have? So, all right. Yeah. let me take a little pause. I'm going to organize and I'll grab something where we can go a little more oracle to bring some clarity to this. I will be right back. I'm going to do this a little different. Maybe start with the wisdom of the oracle, and maybe I'll clarify with a couple different decks and see how it layers. So what is the number 1 main energy to have awareness to clarify the 3 and 6 of rods, the 8 of swords, the lovers, the fool? It's out of your control. Send love, friends and lovers, fun day and for Evs with you. What is the deeper truth? That it's time to go. It's time to dive in. It's no longer sitting on the fence. It's not about hesitating. If you're waiting for someone to come along and they choose to not come along, maybe they'll catch up. Maybe somebody will be redirected at the crossroads while you're walking across that dock, because it does look like you're walking into the fog, into the unknown, but you can see the steps around you. This is knowing when it's time to even leave. If this love energy is not necessarily a relationship or a friendship, it could be a job. And if you feel like it's just not cutting it anymore, you know, it's a little too much like Groundhog Day, you don't really feel like you're expanding there, then maybe it's not a cut it cold turkey kind of situation either, where you just know it's time to go. And if you don't know exactly how you're gonna start, then start by, because I'm getting that, like, you don't feel like you have enough time to even try. So if it's not a whole fun day here, how can you have a fun 5 minutes, you know, a fun 10 minutes where it's just something it's you, it's your thing, it's your song, it's whatever it is, where you're just in that beautiful time melts away zone. It's when you're in that beautiful little pocket, that energetic field, that you're going to come up with the insight, the ideas, the epiphanies that are going to start to give you the clues on how to either redirect you, get out of a situation, or head towards something else. So you don't if you feel like you don't have enough time, you don't have a whole day to have fun, what are you going to do? Where are you going to fit it in? Then you need to be in charge of, you know, your thought patterns here. Maybe wake up a half an hour early. I kind of feel like maybe I keep hearing 5 minutes in the morning. Maybe just try this tomorrow. Before you roll over and you look at your phone or you look at your emails or you do all that, give yourself 5 minutes to just, even if you're lying in bed with your eyes closed, staring at your ceiling, you know, taking yourself to the shower, whatever it is, give yourself 5 minutes to just let whatever ideas come before you start, you know, pushing everything that you had to do. And even if it is that you come up with your daily itinerary, see how it feels different before you connect to the devices or you get into a routine. Because I do feel like you're going to get some kind of epiphany energy. Maybe somebody else is ready to get out of a situation. If you have the energy of the lovers and you have the energy of the fool and somebody wants to have a brand new beginning, even if that is not with you, the real energy of the lovers is not trying to make somebody feel guilty or keep them attached and questioning themselves to cage them into coming back. It's letting them go. And sometimes that's really hard to do, but if you are in the energy of sovereignty, where you see yourself as a powerful soul and give respect to somebody else, that they have free will too, unconditional love for both yourself and everyone else, and it's freedom. So, but I keep hearing like buy a ticket or something. You are hitting like, it's like an archway or a crossroads or a doorway here. So maybe it is an open door of opportunity. You can't quite see yet, but it's coming. So 45 is also a 9. So let's just, what do I have? Let's just see what I got on my table now. Let's get another card, another message, and see. Let's just keep going deeper. Let's go deeper. So go deeper on It's Time to Go, number 45. I don't know why I just totally saw like Cinderella. Like, you know, it's going to be midnight. Oh my gosh. You know, my coach is going to turn into a pumpkin. I feel like if it's that sort of energy, let the prince or princess see you have a chariot that's a pumpkin and your clothes turn back to rags. There's something where the real you is way more interesting. And I'm also getting that if you had to go or somebody else had to go, the right person is coming back. Forever with you. I just feel like it doesn't matter if you're in a ball gown or, I don't know, I just saw somebody in their kitchen wearing an apron with no clothes underneath, their bare ass out. I don't know why I saw that, but hey, maybe it's like that. I feel like whoever it is you're connecting to doesn't matter. That was so cool and weird. What else? We're connecting to the divine feminine or a feminine energy. So if this is who is inspiring you coming in, or if this is you, it's recognizing that beautiful allowance and strength. I don't know why I'm seeing almost like, she looks like she's wearing like a big ball gown tutu thing, but I'm getting like powerful kind of, you know, like making a change kind of feminine energy here. It's knowing when to be soft, what to allow in, you know, letting things that are attracting or attracted to you or whoever that is in, but it's also the strength to say no. Your divine feminine or you, it's seeking your twin or your soulmate, but she is sitting, not seeking. She's trusting that the right one is coming in. So same deck. Let's get one more. What is one more message? What is she doing up there? What you doing up on the couch? What is one more deeper message? So now we have a connection to the feminine that's prominent. What does the feminine energy need to know? Or what's connecting to the feminine energies? That something is going to fall away or change seasons. Maybe the actual fall season is important. There's a change in the air. Ooh, that feels like fresh and I don't know. It feels like all of a sudden, you know, the whole palette of this feminine's life is switching colors. Your answer arrives in autumn. I like how in this card there's also a road. So perhaps it's I hear the road less traveled. The open road. I feel like there was, I don't know, I'm getting like a season that didn't change. Like I kind of see like Florida, or, you know, it could even be like, I don't know, Antarctica, someplace where it's always kind of the same season. I feel like all of a sudden seasons are introduced, and I'm getting that like full energy here where it's like, wow, I've never seen a tree turn red and orange and pink and golden before. I'm getting wide-eyed wonder, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual place. It could just be an energy, like being introduced to a new palette in the world you know. That's not what you knew. I hope that made sense. What is another message? Everything keeps flying today. Guess what's coming through? Somebody's waking up. Somebody's breaching the surface. Something feels like it's like you can breathe again. Somebody's connecting to their higher self. As above, so below. As within, so without. Someone's getting a big wake-up call. And I said something before about waking up in the morning. This says awakening. And that doesn't happen at the same pace for everyone. Sometimes that's an experience at a time. Sometimes it's a big wake-up call that you get that gives you a big reality check. Rose. It says realization, progress, your twin, and you don't have to connect with that energy. Hold on, that was really loud. Let me get her. I'm not sure what she wants. I hope she wasn't too loud. So forget about the label. I don't like the label thing. It's a connection that feels like it's divine. It's deep. It has a multifaceted connection. So somebody is awakening to how different, how special, how unique, how divine your connection is with them. But I'm getting like a circularization on energy between you and them, not where somebody's zapping all the energy in. What do they call that? Like the actual, I'm not an electrician, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, like the AC/DC thing, but there's one where it goes the one way, but not the other way. I see you as the back and forth exchange of energy and electricity. Rose is here, but I still don't know what she wants. So I'm grabbing this. So I'm guessing maybe one from the divine truth. But I do feel like I gotta do some shuffling. So if there's one main message from the divine truth that would be the most helpful for you right now, what is it? Please and thank you. I saw all that color. I saw all that color. I should have said it, like introduced to color and you never saw it before. But with this fall, it's like if you only ever saw snow and all of a sudden you see green. Like, wow. So, well, I guess you could have evergreens if there's trees. But I was getting like Antarctica energy, just like white. And then I saw like Florida, where it's always, you know, kind of the same color palette. What if all of a sudden you never saw blue before, and one day you wake up and you get one of those, you know, special glasses that they sell if you're colorblind, or all of a sudden the spiritual color is presented in your life. You didn't even know it existed. I feel like some of you have seen some vivid dreams though, where you can't quite describe how vivid it is. I do feel like you're tapping into multi-dimensions. But black and white, it's not black and white. It's about all the whole color spectrum and all the little nuances and facets in between. This is huge. And I'm not just getting that this is what you've done for someone or what you are going to. I feel like it's that exchange of energy I saw. I've always tried to be realistic with life, but you open me up the color. So somebody always painted by number, and maybe even like always felt like they had to follow the rules. Someone's throwing that rule book away. Somebody is painting outside of the lines. Someone's getting rid of the agenda or the paint by number altogether and letting their creative ideas just, I'm getting like kind of explode. We're here to be co-creators. It's so powerful. So maybe somebody felt like they couldn't create their own dynamic, create their own unique, I'm getting career, create their own day-to-day schedule, create their own beautiful, whatever you and someone else defy. I wanted to say define it to be, but I said defy. So maybe you're going to defy all odds. Rose is definitely making me multitask here. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. So don't compare, whether that's to others or your past, or even overproject what you really want the future to be. Just be in the now and allow it to unfold. Because I feel like something is going to be beautifully surprising to you and somebody else. The way that these messages are coming out today. She's now getting a back rub from my foot. Rose. So what is the final message from the universe that would be the most helpful today? Please and thank you. These messages are just flying out. A check. Well, yes. You got the Fool. So you had to get to the World to get to the Fool. I kind of feel even though there's like a little glance-a-roo back. I love it. It has a white dog like her. So maybe you have your loyal companion coming with you. But I feel like whatever you're kind of giving like a, I'm getting like a wink or a, even if what is behind this Fool is something that he never wants to go back to, she never wants to go back to ever again, there's still a wink of gratitude. Like, thanks, old chapter. Thanks, amazing chapter. Ready to move on now, but open to something new and different. A chapter in your life is coming to an end. Rest assured that beautiful things are ahead of you in this next chapter. Let go of all, oh my gosh. Okay. These are the moments where I feel so much gratitude to bring, you know, to be here, to bring these messages, but to teach. I'm not here because I'm an answer. I'm just the weirdo that puts myself out there because I got this stuff happen to me, you know, since childhood. But you, the answer is in you. So it literally says, let go of all things that are out of your control and move forward. Time to go. There are more beautiful things ahead of you than any you leave behind. Sometimes that is a really hard, very powerful, very big lesson to learn. If you are awakening, not everybody is going to wake up with you. So if anyone is holding you back, caging you in, trying to make you question what you know inside of your soul, then that's probably somebody that's not supposed to come with you. You can let them go with love. You can let that place or that environment or that home or that job go with love and gratitude. But don't sit around on a fence forever, even if you're waiting for somebody else to make a choice. You need to make choices out of love that put you step by step ahead. Bring more color into your world. Have more and more moments, pockets, days, 5 minutes, whatever, of fun and excitement. And be in that energy where you're meant to be here to thrive. And with this, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I gotta attend this one. Apparently she needs to play ball or something. I don't know. I know, but do you want to say hi? No, she's gonna talk though, so I'm gonna go before she's loud. I will see you soon. Thank you for being here. Bye.